You saw the video title. So welcome to TimeTech, and today I'm gonna be unboxing the S25 Edge. Now keep in mind that this is a pre-owned model, so that means someone has used this before they decided, nope, this phone is not for me, which I shall talk about the potential reasons why. And if you didn't know, or rather if you, I'm using my S21. Why am I using my S21 when I have the S24 Ultra? That's because I traded in my S24 Ultra to the S25 Edge. I'll talk about why the downgrade later. So the side of the box, you get obviously the Edge profile of the phone because it's an Edge, Samsung. Then we have the color variant. Now obviously I have no choice but to go with black because no one wanted the Edge. So obviously there's not going to be a lot of refurbished Edge out there. Right, let's take a look. Let's just unbox it. The thing is, I have gotten the phone to set up already, so I can just dive right in with my first impression right away. Now, let's go ahead and remove the phone from the box. Gonna switch it on and put it to the side. I will not put on a case for this video, but usually I do have a case on all phones, and I'm gonna talk about this later. Wait, sorry, I think I forgot the peel. That's supposed to mimic the plastic peeling off, but sure. Then we have this box, which inside gets you SIM ejector pin, user manual, and your cable, which I'm assuming, which the previous owner obviously didn't bother with the cable and the ejector pin. I guess that's why it's stuck there. So, hey, that's cool. Let's go ahead and throw this off to the side, clean the box, and talk about my S25 Edge. So, why, when the S24 Ultra is that good, why did I choose to give it up for the S25 Edge? If the S24 Ultra is that good, why did I choose to give it up for something that we Chinese call 美丽小废物? Now, it's not that I don't like the S24 Ultra. I love the Ultra, right? I love the usability of it. I love the versatility of of all the cameras. I just love the Ultra. But the thing is, number one, the first issue, which can be easily solved, is obviously the fact that I have a lack of storage. Now, my Ultra was a 256 gigs variant, and this Edge is a 512. As you can see, it's a 512. Now, you could say there is an argument that, well, you could have just gotten the same phone in 512. Yes, but there's also a second issue which has been bothering me for ever since I owned the Ultra, and that is the fact that it is a very, very heavy phone. The S24 Ultra is 232 grams. It is quite a lot to handle. I have filmed concert videos and things like that with the Ultra, and it really just made my arms ache for like 3 days straight after filming the concert videos. And then the Edge is 163 grams. Now there is a protector on, and there will be a case on at all times because I really still want to protect this phone. This is still a pretty expensive phone. I mean, it is a second-hand model, which doesn't look like it has anything. It doesn't look like it has any scratches or anything. It looks brand new, so I'm not going to treat it as a second-hand model. I'm going to treat it as a new model. I'm going to take care of it, everything. So yeah, there's a lot of reasons on why I really didn't want to treat my 24 Ultra 256 for a 512 24 Ultra. It's really because of the fact that the phone is way too heavy. And yeah, I mean, now that I've went the Edge, and I think I'm 7 hours in or 6 hours into using the phone, I can tell you right away that it has ruined every single phone for me. This is the first impression, okay? So that means my opinions may change and things like that. So let's bring in the Galaxy Note 9. This thing is 202 grams. This is the same exact footprint as the S25 Edge, and yet this thing is still lighter at 163 grams. And then there's also the fact that what attracts me is this beautiful 2K panel that is actually of the newer display type, which is known as the LIPO display type rather than the COP found on the S24 Ultra. So that means this thing has a less likely chance of getting green lines. But again, it's just more theory based than like actual usage. So yeah, let's see. Now the thing is, I have not really like properly organized the phone yet, so that's why you see apps here and there and stuff like that, but it is 90% fully set up. Yeah, first impression, it has ruined every single phone out there for me. Then keep in mind that my school phone is a CMF phone 1, and this thing is like 202 grams with this back panel, 197 with the green one, and this is 163. Then if you put it next to each other, look at that. Heck, this is thinner than my Tab S10 FE. And my Tab S10 FE is 6mm, this is 5.8. And the fact that, the first impressions of this is that this phone just is a treat to use. Like, when typing on this thing, it feels like I'm typing on a piece of glass because of how much this feels like a piece of card. It is so thin to the point that it is ridiculous thinking of, like, it's ridiculous doing anything on it. It just feels like a sci-fi movie for me, I guess. Yeah, and this is the phone that everyone loves to hate, right? Battery is too small, loses 2 cameras from the Ultra. Now keep in mind that I came from the S24 Ultra, and my first impressions of the camera for the S25 Edge is, this is the ultra wide macro by the way, it's just as good. This is ultra wide macro again. This is the 200 megapixel main camera. The 200 megapixel main camera again. Take a look at the pictures. This is taken on a 200 megapixel mode. So basically the cameras are the exact same on the Ultra, so the same ultra wide and the same main lens. But the thing is, these things have to be especially redesigned to fit in the chassis of this phone, which is 5.8mm compared to 8.2 I think on the S24 Ultra. So yeah, that was one thing that I really appreciate on the Edge. And yes, I am losing my zoom from 100 times to 10 times, but if you take a picture of a 10 times, if you take the 10 times picture, it is not that bad. Like, I would actually classify this as okay, like a pretty usable picture, and a pretty okay one at that, especially the fact that it doesn't have a telephoto lens. It's a pretty good phone for the cameras and stuff. Then as for recording, let's see. So yeah, 10 times is not terrible on this. I expected worse, but this is an ultra thin phone with no telephoto lens, and it's still able to perform quite okay in my opinion. So I think yeah, I think I'll be pretty happy with this. And the fact that it does solve my primary issue with the fact that I only have 256 on my S24 Ultra and this thing has 512 gigs, and the fact that I don't have to worry about my hands being sore when holding this phone, when holding a phone while recording. Yes, this is not like a good phone to record videos on and stuff like that, but at this point, I love this phone. Like, first impressions, this is crazy for me to hold, for me to use. And the fact that I can just pinch the phone like that and not feel any form of, and not feel tired, it's just crazy. Now, there is one thing that I did notice. This is going to happen because physics. You can flex the phone like that. You can do this, okay? You can definitely give it a good flex and stuff, but because this is built with, I think, grade 5 titanium, which is a step up from the S24 Ultra's grade 2 titanium, That means this is a less pure titanium, but it is more durable. I do trust its durability. Oh my gosh. At first and the fact that obviously I don't have the color choice. I don't have the choice on color, but I really like this black. It's not exactly black. It has a very slight tint of like midnight blue to it. It's a very beautiful kind of black, I would say. Remember, as I said, I came from S24 Ultra. The battery is pretty awesome on the S24 Ultra. As a matter of fact, I call it the perfect battery on the on that phone. That phone had a 5000 mAh battery. This one has a 3900 mAh battery. So my expectations were very low on the S25 Edge. As long as it reaches the S21 levels of battery life, let me just S21 this. So as long as it hits S21 levels of battery life, I'm okay with the phone because I am in fact okay with S21 levels of battery life. But so far, today, 6 hours into using the phone, keep in mind, well, I'm also charging the phone, and I did also charge the phone because there is a reason for that. I was using wireless power share. I was power sharing to another phone. It was setting up a lot of things at once, so I had to kind of plug it in when doing so. And yeah, when I unplugged it and I actually use it and did a lot more setup, did a lot more setting up, the battery has been quite okay. Like, it's a pretty reliable battery phone for now. I don't game a lot on my phone. If I log into Red Dead Redemption, as you can tell, it's actually this is my first time logging in on the S25 Edge. So number one, I'm a little worried about the heat. I can tell you that the battery really isn't a problem. The camera isn't a problem. As for my usage, by the way, so that's that. But yeah, there you go. You can really tell that I didn't really download this game properly, right? Then the speakers, I will find them a little bit tinny, but serviceable. Definitely better than mono speakers. iPhone Air, am I right? Then there's also like a thing that I'm gonna talk about, which is the fact that most modern Samsung phones have like a kind of plastic surround around the USB-C port, and that is to help it kind of like to help it remain scratch free. Because of how thin this phone is, it doesn't have it. So that's something. I guess I shall remain on this screen while the download completes. Yeah, so that means I need to be careful when charging the device because I don't want to really scratch this thing. And because this is a titanium black phone, it is bound to discolor someday. If I really handle it without a case at all, it will discolor. So that's that. And then when charging, this is, I think, one of the warmest phone that I've ever felt when charging this phone. But keep in mind that it is also setting up during the process, so I can't blame it too much for literally trying to set my house on fire with the heat, but it's totally fine. It is not that hot, but still warm. It charges very fast. As a matter of fact, I just pull it out of the charger. I will put it back in the charger and charge it up to 100% and see how it fares tomorrow. Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, I love this phone. I don't know how do I explain this further. Now, the other downgrades possibly that I might miss is the S Pen on the S24 Ultra. I use it to control music. I use it to, oh my god, I'm really scared to hold a phone like that. But yeah, I use it to control music. I use it to do a lot of things on the S Pen, take pictures and stuff. So I will miss it, but this is a phone with interesting form factor that has a pretty okay battery for me. I'm really accepting of that. And the fact that 512, that's my point. It is a 512 gigs phone that I can use I can use really stably for quite a long time. Yeah, overall I'm okay with it. yeah, I am thankful that they did not remove wireless charging for the sake of, oh yeah, I forgot this wireless charger is kind of broken. I'm so glad that they actually didn't remove wireless charging for the sake of thinness. If they did, I'll be pretty pissed. Some ultra thin phones do not have that. And yeah, this is a very nice phone. This is like 6 hours in. I'm not too sure how would my impression change later on in the year, but so far I think I'm really liking this phone. Alright, so thank you all so much for watching. Hope you all enjoy this video of me talking about the phone that no one wants, that everyone complains about, and never really use it, because I'm probably like the only channel that talks about this phone objectively. Yeah, so my verdict is it's a good phone. If you are a pretty normal user like me, you don't really do much gaming, you probably just record some videos here and there, you just want a reliable phone to get you through a day, no problems, you want good cameras because somehow the Ultra's camera is overkill. I don't know if that's a good reason. I think that's a pretty bad reason. If you think the Ultra's camera is overkill, that means you appreciate it. This is definitely a downgrade from the Ultra's camera, but yeah, the cameras are not bad on this phone. They are pretty good. I honestly couldn't tell the difference between what's taken on my S24 Ultra and what's taken on the S25 Edge. It just feels the same. Except for 10 times, yeah, definitely I can tell the difference between the 10 times on the Edge and the 10 times on the S24 Ultra. They are completely different leagues. But the fact that this phone, the fact that when this phone came out, it got so much hate for being thin. Like, who wants this? Who needs this? Who cares? And when I use it for like 6 hours, I just don't feel like I just think this phone ruined it. Like, this phone just ruined everything for me. This is heavy, right? This used to feel light. This feels heavy. This is heavy. Same size. Now this is dense. This phone ruined it. I don't think I'll be going back to a normal phone, like a normal typical average smartphone anymore, because I just can't. This thing just won. This thing won. Then I guess the one thing that I do care about, the vibration motor. I went from a SLA 0620 to a ESA 0815. The 0815 is used on the S26 series. The S24 Ultra uses the SLA 0620. I do feel that the S24 Ultra has a better vibration motor, actually, because the 0620 is a better vibration motor, while the 0815 is a weaker vibration motor. Fun fact. If you don't believe me, you can actually take a look at AAC Technologies kind of like graph on the hierarchy of the motors. I'm not joking. The 0620 is actually a superior motor. And not just that, because of the fact that this phone is thin, that means the vibration motor has to be custom built. So I think it's a 1.73mm vibration motor when it comes to the thickness. So that means this phone is not going to achieve that good of a haptic feedback compared to other 0815 motors, except for foldables with the ultra thin 0815s. But yeah, the vibration motor is just fine. It's a little worse than my S24 Ultra. I can feel that, but it's not to the point that you chug the whole entire phone out, right? It's not to the point that it's so terrible that you want to chug it out. It is a pretty good vibration motor. I find it very tactile. Again, in a phone this size. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say this again. This thing just feels like I'm holding a piece of glass. That's it. I'm holding a piece of glass. I love this thing. Let's see if this honeymoon phase ends, and then I will be suffering with a phone with so-called subpar battery, subpar cameras. What are things that people complain about this phone? No one wants a thin phone. Yeah, let's see if after my honeymoon phase where I properly review this phone, let's see if any of my opinion changes, because I don't think, because if it changes, it'll be pretty interesting. I'm gonna see how I deal with the phone. Alright, so thank you so much for watching, hearing me rant on this video. I actually really like filming first impressions like this. Number one, it's less effort, and number two, I get to, you know, think on the spot on what to say. There's no filter, unless, you know, I cut things out. I love this phone. Let's see if the honeymoon phase ends. Whoa. Oh, okay. I just found out one of the thing of this phone. If you put it face down without a case, you try to pick it up, it is way harder to pick up than other phones because it's so thin. So I guess that's one of the negative points. But again, I'm gonna use this phone with a case, so it's not gonna matter that much. Vibration motor is fine. Alright, bye. Just. Oh no! I just realized. Wait. That's also one of the things that I noticed, even with a case on. Yeah, it loves to seesaw itself. Okay, bye. That's my tin whistle.